like I said, tonight as we begin, a bolster or a pillow or 2 pillows is really nice for a couple of the postures we have planned for tonight. And then I have 2 blankets here. I'm going to use the blankets both to sit on, and that can be a really nice support under your knees if you have any knee problems. So make sure you have a couple props around to help the surface meet you so that you can find ease and relax into the postures as we go through the session tonight. But we're gonna start really nice tonight. We're gonna start on our backs. So lie down, get comfortable, and bend your knees and allow the soles of the feet to fall together and the knees to fall apart. And like I said, I had 2 blankets with me. So if you feel like you need a little bit more support under your knee here, if it feels uncomfortable for it to go out to the side, a blanket or a block is a really nice addition. That makes the posture a little bit more restorative, but if you're having any discomfort, it makes it a lot more sustainable. So find whatever is comfortable and sustainable for you. And then just allow yourself to settle and arrive. Maybe you bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. To offer yourself some support, both internally and externally. Start to bring your awareness to where you feel the body on the earth. Let your body be heavy and supported by the earth beneath you. Letting go and allowing your body to find rest, to find ease, to begin to move from the external doing to more of an internal sensing and being. Starting to heighten and awaken the sensations of the body. Yin yoga addresses the more passive tissues of the body, the non-contractile or non-muscular tissues, the connective tissue that surrounds everything, the joints, the ligaments, everything that holds us together and separates things apart. And they respond to time, so we'll be holding postures for a longer period of time. At least 3 minutes, sometimes up to 5. And then to pressure, so the weight of gravity itself, and compression through the positions that we put ourselves in. Now come back to the sensation of the breath. Feeling the breath move into the belly if your hand is on your belly. Feeling the changing nature of the breath. Following the rise and the fall. The expansion and contraction. Allowing that gentle rock of the breath in and out to start to rock you into a little bit more comfort and ease. Letting go of the day. And welcoming the space we're creating. And now when it feels comfortable to you, we'll begin a gentle breathing practice. So begin to breathe in for the count of 4. And then out for the count of 4. Again, inhaling for the count of 4. And out. Same count. Take 2 more breaths in this way, creating an even breath. And on the next inhale, inhale for 4. At the top of your inhale, hold for 4. Exhale for 4. And then hold the empty for 4. Let's try that again together. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. And hold the empty. Begin again. Creating a box or a square with your breath. 4 counts on each side of that square. Continue for about 3 to 5 more rounds on your own, balancing out the breath, using the breath as a tool to balance out the energy in our body. Last round of breath. And then as you complete, let the hands come by your sides if they aren't already. Use your hands to help hug the knees together towards midline. And then straighten your legs long on the mat. And you may feel a little bit stiff after coming out of a posture of prolonged hold. And so allow the body to readjust, to settle, let the sensation subside. That's an important part of the completion of the posture. We call it in yin rebounding. And then once the sensation subsides, lying on your back flat, reach the arms up overhead and really reach through the heels of your feet, trying to be as long as you can on the mat. And on the next inhale, reach out the left heel and the left fingertips, making the left side longer. And then as you exhale, just come back to center. The next breath, inhale, reach through the right hand and the right foot. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Lengthening the right side body. 2 more rounds on each side. Keeping that Samavritti or even breath as you breathe from side to side. If you found it helpful. One more round on each side, reaching long through the left side. And then back to center. Stretching long through the right. And then back to center. Now take both hands and walk them over, still overhead, walk them off the left side of the mat. So that you start to come into a little side bend. And then walk the feet off the left side of the mat. So now you're in a crescent moon type shape. So the whole right side of the body is long. And now again, breathe into the whole right side of the body to create more length. And then exhale, just feel the ground support you. If you need a little help to keep the right arm reaching overhead, the left hand may clasp the right wrist. But try not to effort too much. Try to just allow the body to come into this posture. And as we start to open the lateral chain or the side body on the right, take big breaths into this right rib cage, expanding and elongating the space between each of the ribs on the right side. Nourishing the body, creating space with each breath. And come back to the sensations of the body. Notice if the mind has wandered. And if it has, just bring it back to where you feel sensation. What is the felt sense of the body right now? And then if you feel like you've eased into that posture a little bit, you can walk the feet and hands over just a little bit more, creating a little bit more length, using kramas or stages to come into this expression. Take one more full breath in. Exhale through the mouth and let it all go. And then start to come back into center. Reach through both feet and both arms again, taking as much vertical space as you can up on the mat. And then begin to reverse the direction, walking your feet off to the right side of the mat, walking your hands over to the right corner of the mat. Maybe taking this time, the right wrist and clasping the left with the right hand. And coming into this crescent moon shape. In yin, we actually call this pose banana asana. So it's like you're a little crescent, like a banana. Sending breath, sending awareness, creating length in the entire left side of the body now. So return again to the felt sense of the body. What are you feeling right now in this moment? And how can you meet yourself exactly where you are? Can you soften the jaw? Maybe close the eyes. Let go of any extra efforting. And bring your awareness back to the changing tide of the breath. Allowing the breath to be the driver of change. With each inhale, expanding, bringing more space in between each of the ribs on the left side of the body. And with each exhale, flushing the lungs. Pause here for another 3 breaths. Coming into your fullest expression of the side body opening. Take 1 more round of breath. On the exhale, open your mouth, side out. And then return to center. Let your hands come back by your sides. Just pause in a mini shavasana for a few breaths, just to feel the change that has occurred. And when the sensation subsides, we'll begin again. Continuing with the side body opening, now opening into the outsides of the hips. I'm going to give you 2 variations before you move. If you have any difficulty with your knees or any difficulty with pigeon, I would suggest staying here on your back. Bend both knees. Take 1 foot and cross it over the opposite knee. This might be where you stay for today for hip opening. And then you can reach through and pull that bent knee towards your chest. That's another variation. However, if you'd like to follow me, you can also turn onto your side. Press yourself to hands and knees. And the other option tonight is going to be pigeon. In yin, we call this swan. And I want to make sure if you choose this variation that you decide to use some props. So take your right knee and reach your right knee up towards your right hand. It's going to be a little outside of the hip. And then you're going to keep your foot tucked into you just a little bit more here. Just so I can see all better. And then I like to use a blanket under my hip just to meet me where I am, so that I have support in that first variation of the posture. And then just arrive and notice. And we all need a little bit more support in these times. I think a lot of people have been feeling a little stiffer. So, because of the events that have been going on. So just be gentle with yourself. So, and then start to walk yourself forward. Here's where you can use your bolster or your 2 pillows to give yourself some additional support. And then just allow yourself to arrive. Here we're getting into the outside of the hips. This in traditional Chinese medicine is the gallbladder meridian. It's associated with this season of spring. In an imbalanced state, that piriformis or that gallbladder meridian are associated with hanging on, put the sense of control. So how can you allow a little bit more in this posture? Meet yourself where you are, to be kind to yourself. And give yourself a little more allowance for where you are right now today. Exactly as you are. And as that gallbladder meridian comes into balance, it's really helpful with our decision making. So that ability to decide, when do we have to hold on and when can we let go? Gives us confidence in making decisions and clarity and creativity. So in times like this, it allows us to rise to that occasion of what's being called upon us right now. Our call into action. Or letting go what we don't need any longer. It gives us an internal sense of support and confidence. Take about 5 more breaths here. Just allowing yourself to meet yourself exactly where you are. And giving yourself the internal support of your breath, of welcoming and allowing, and that external support of whatever you need to hold you up right now. And as you're ready, slowly bring your hands under you. Push your chest up. And then take the right hip back to meet the left. If you're on your back, just hug both knees into your chest. If you're in pigeon, come back towards child pose for a moment. If you're on your back, a nice option is to also bring your feet back to the floor and let your knees rock side to side. Noticing what you feel, welcoming any sensations in the body. And then beginning again. If you're on your back, cross your opposite leg over, and then pull your knees towards your chest. If you're coming into pigeon, bring your left hand towards your left knee towards your left hand, slightly wider than the width of your hips. Prop up your hip to meet you wherever you are right now. And then use some pillows or a bolster or a blanket to either support the head or the belly. And just allow yourself, wherever you stop, just to pause and notice. Remembering that both sides are different. So this side may feel very different than the other side. Meeting yourself wherever you are. Giving yourself the external support of props to meet your pelvis. To meet your chest. Let the eyes soften. And come back to the felt sense in the body. Transition from the thinking mind to the feeling mind. The body thinks and feels. So welcome the feels that arise. Ask yourself, how can I make this sustainable for the next 2 minutes? And meet yourself exactly where you are. Allowing the pose to evolve. So as you hold with time, you may need to adjust. The body may begin to soften and allow you to move in deeper. Or you might notice, oh, I missed that first barrier, that first message, and oh, I need to back out a little bit. And if you start to notice yourself feeling irritable, come back to the sensation of where you feel the body supported on the earth. Leaning into that sense of support where the body feels supported and relaxed. Notice that sensation and see if you can allow that sensation to spread throughout the rest of the body. Take 3 to 5 more breaths. And then slowly bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press through the hands, allowing yourself to come back towards child's pose or back towards hugging your knees. Pausing in that seed shape. That shape of potential, allowing the change that we made to be integrated. Giving the body time to notice how it feels. And slowly rise up to sitting. If you're on your back, turn towards your side. Otherwise, come onto your knees and scoot your hips off to the side and find a blanket in the middle of your mat the long way. And come and sit on that blanket, just to give the hips a little bit of support. If you have any discomfort in the knees might like a little support in this next posture. So if you have little towels or blankets, you can roll them up just to put them under the knees so that they're not hanging in the air. This feels really nice for anyone that has hypermobility or hyperflexibility and their knees tend to hyperextend, or any arthritis or anything of that nature too, to bring the surface up towards the knees. And we're going to continue with this side body opening theme that we have going for the liver and the gallbladder meridians. So allow the legs to come wide. And now I would also recommend to have your pillows beside you. It's not necessary, but I kind of like it. I'm going to bring the bolster behind my left leg. Then I'm going to reach the right arm up overhead. And then as I exhale, I'm going to slide my left hand down my left leg and just notice where I end up. Don't push yourself into the posture in yin. Allow gravity to do the work. Just meet yourself where you are. I like the bolster because sometimes it's nice to prop my elbow on the bolster and then prop my head up. You can also just do it on your thigh as well, so that the head can be relaxed and can be at ease. So that you can bring your awareness now into the sensation in the right side of the body again. This right arm can reach long, or you may even find that it likes to cradle behind your head and bend there. Wherever you are, meet yourself exactly where your body wants to be. How can you find 10% more ease in this posture so that the body is really able to welcome the sensation and allow a deeper letting go? Can you soften the eyes? Can you soften the top arm? Relax the fingertips, relax the elbow. Can you bring your breath back into the right side waist? Feeling the inhale expand upward into the right rib cage, spreading the ribs apart. allowing the right side lungs to breathe more deeply. And notice how with time the sensation starts to change. Notice what you're feeling right now. Meet yourself exactly where you are. And then take your left hand to the left side of the face. Maybe cup the left ear, wherever you are right now. And use the left hand to push you back up to center. And let the arms come down. Just pause and center. If you were using a pillow or a bolster, bring it to the other side. And then begin again. Lift the left arm up overhead. Take the right hand and glide it down the right shin. Notice that first place where you stop. Acknowledging that as your first edge. And arrive here. Find stillness. And then give yourself the proper support. Either take your top arm and reach it around, cupping the back of the head, or the bottom hand. Remember, both sides are different. You're not completely symmetrical. So allow this side to unfold in its own unique way. And then come back to the sensation of the breath. Use the breath as your driver. Inhaling into the left side of the lungs. Feeling the breath fill up and around the heart. Creating more space on all sides of the heart. The front, the back, the left side, and the right side. So the heart feels like it's floating inside the lungs within the pericardial sac. And then the lungs can move freely as the ribs begin to spread. These meridians, the liver and gallbladder that we're addressing in the side seams of the body, are associated with detoxification. The best source of detoxification we have is every single exhale. So continue to focus on the letting go in the body and the letting go with each breath, every exhale. And then to come out, take your right hand to the right side of the head. Use the abdominals and the right hand to push yourself back up into center. Let the arms come down in just a short midline orientation. Allow yourself to walk forward, coming into this nice wide dragonfly. Again, not pushing or efforting in this type of yoga. In yin yoga, we're trying to find that first edge, where those tissues are not pliable. Noting where in the motion it's not smooth and pausing there. Allowing time And allowing pressure, whether that's a pull, a tensile force, or the force of gravity itself, to soften the body. And we assist that by softening the mind, welcoming and allowing wherever we are, wherever we end up. And the kinder we are to ourselves, we'll notice the more we're able to soften, the more the body is able to let go, the more we can find ease with where we are right now. Take 3 breaths, taking full deep breaths, breathing into the back body, behind the ribs, behind the heart. And then exhaling through the mouth. Really allowing the body to detoxify itself. Letting go with that exhale breath. Letting go into the potential of what's coming next. In this time of uncertainty, there's a lot of change. So letting go and creating space to see what's going to come is a really fruitful practice during this time. And then slowly allow yourself to come up, using your hands to walk your trunk up. And then coming into one more asymmetrical posture for this sequence. We're going to do a rotational stretch now, which is also nice in that detoxifying way, to detoxify more through the gut than the rib cage. So we just worked on opening the sides of the body, which will allow us to rotate better. So right from here, take your bolster back to the left side. And it's going to be very similar setup, so perpendicular to the way you're sitting. Now, take your left knee and bend it, and you're going to remove the blanket from underneath you as well. And take that left thigh so it creates an L with your pillow or bolster. And then your right leg is just going to bend behind you. It doesn't have to be, it can be whatever bend is comfortable. And now, the movement comes from the trunk. So you're going to rotate from your belly to look over your pillow or bolster. And then now, just allow yourself to melt down. Starting to come into more of an internal twist. I would recommend to start by keeping your head turned to the right. But as you ease into this posture, you may find that you can start to turn your head to the left as well. And maybe try lengthening out the right arm so that you feel some length from the right knee all the way to the right fingertip. So you're continuing to get that side body length as you rotate. Think of lengthening through the spine and then ringing from center. Bring all of your awareness here, right into the belly. With each exhale, wring out the abdomen, detoxify the abdomen, like you're wringing out a dish towel or a sponge. Purifying the gut. In traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, which both influence this type of yoga, they say all disease begins with the gut. So take care and tune in. What is your gut saying right now? Like I said, the body thinks and feels. So what are you feeling deep in your gut? What can you wring out? What do you need help digesting? Or maybe what do you have stored up there? What internal potential is beginning to percolate as we open up these energy channels, as we give ourselves internal and external support for this more internal inquiry of yin yoga. And when the mind wanders, bringing it back to the breath. Feeling the breath deep in the body. Letting go, body, breath, and mind. And then bring your hands back under your shoulders. Use the hands to push yourself up to sitting. And preparing for the other side. Taking your bolster now over to the right side of the body. Switching the legs, allowing this side to be the counter pose for us. Taking our right leg now perpendicular to the bolster. Taking the left foot behind us, bending the left knee to whatever degree is comfortable. Supporting the ankle or the foot or the knee if it's on a hard surface. And then lifting up through the midline, rotate from the belly to the right, and then let it go, release over the right side of the body. With this twist, moving inward instead of outward. Most twists are opening and expansive. This twist is a little bit more internal and compressive. So think about each exhale coming into the belly, into your center, and wringing it out. Detoxifying, creating space, and letting go of what no longer serves us. It's through the emptying that we create space for creativity, for inspiration, to begin to arise. And if the mind wanders, just welcome it back to the breath. And the sensation of that internal abdominal massage, that churning that you're offering yourself. And if you start to feel antsy or irritable, come back to the sensation of support. Feel the body as the hip and thigh and foot rest on the earth. Or feel the weight of the trunk as it leans into the support. Using the opposites to find balance. Taking 3 more breaths here. Maybe sighing out. While you're at home, you can make whatever noises feel right for you. Listening to exactly what the body needs in this very moment. With kindness, how can you meet yourself exactly where you are? And slowly begin to transition out, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Press the trunk up. Move your bolster from the mat. Have it within reach so that if you want it for Shavasana, you can place it under your knees. And then roll onto your backs. Hug your knees into the chest. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Allow the spine now to be completely supported. And then you can stay here, letting the spine come back to midline. Or if it feels right for you, reach for the outside of the feet, coming into a happy baby, pulling your knees out towards the armpits, and drawing the shoulder blades back towards the floor, as if you're pulling the feet straight down to the earth. As you're here, I want you to think about using this posture more so about grounding the entire spine into the earth. So can you let the entire spine rest on the earth? From sacrum, low back, mid back, the space behind the heart. Can you tuck the chin just a little bit to lengthen out the back of the neck so the crown of the head reaches long? And take a few breaths right into the back body. Feel the inhale, expand the body and lengthen the spine into the floor a little bit more. And then as you exhale, feel that letting go into the earth, a sense of surrender. Take 5 more breaths, breathing into the earth and into the back of the spine. Leaning into the sense of support. And if you're not touching the ground, with each inhale, just allowing the spine to move a little bit closer towards the floor. Can you soften the shoulders away from the ears and also down towards the floor? Can you soften the jaw, maybe opening and closing the mouth? The jaw correlates very closely to the hips. So if we have tension in the jaw, it's often reflected in the hips and vice versa. So this practice may also help with TMJ. Keep the lips parted and the jaw soft. 3 more breaths. And then returning the feet together, knees towards the chest. Take a moment and ask yourself, is there anything else I need right now that will assist me in relaxing into complete ease as we move towards Shavasana? If so, do that now. And to set up for Shavasana, if you would like, take your bolster underneath the knees. If you'd like, cover yourself with that other blanket that you had. To come into your final rest, allowing the most important posture to do its work. Integrating the sensations of the body with the mind. So as you arrive into your Shavasana, again, note where you began, resting on the earth, feeling the change. Draw your awareness to where the feet rest on the earth, where the knees rest or are supported by a bolster beneath them. Allow the kneecaps and the knees to melt into the bolster. Let the hip sockets be really heavy, dropping deep towards the earth. Feel the sacrum and the bowl of the pelvis release into the support beneath it. Relax the torso, front melting into the back, back melting into the floor. Allow the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the arms and the hands to all be heavy. And then relax the mouth, the jaw, the eyes, the ears, the head, the brain inside the head, the whole body, letting go into support, into a sense of ease. And if you're going to stay for eye rest, you can stay lying down. You can keep yourself covered. And we'll begin in just a few minutes. And if you're transitioning out to whatever is calling you next, slowly start to come back into the sensation of the body, feeling with support. And from that support, gaining strength, reconnecting with the movement in your limbs, and rolling to your side, feeling the earth catch you. Pause again in the seed shape as we did earlier. One last time, pausing and noting the potential that lies within you. Through this practice, the transformation that can take shape. And knowing that you have that internal strength with you always. Push yourself up to sit. Bring your hands to your heart. And bow your head in gratitude for the beautiful gift of your body. For your breath in this practice. Namaste.